Some footage is leaked of Donald Trump's billionaire fundraiser, and it speaks to what his goals are once again this second time around, pandering to his billionaire buddies and giving them massive tax cuts at the behest of everyone else. So we're going to look at a few of these clips and discuss the effects his last tax cuts had, because there's a lot of misinformation that goes around about them, and also discussing what he's planning going forward.
You're all wealthy people. I know a lot of you come, they have so much money, they can give you so much money. You know what we did, the largest tax cuts in history. Think of it.
So it's him starting off pretty simple, just stroking their egos about the wealth that they amassed, probably as fraudulently as he did, before then mentioning he did the largest tax cuts in history, which he did. And that leaves you to ask, who are they for? Who do tax cuts benefit? Do they benefit the working class? They do not. As you can see here, the benefit and money saved isn't even kind of comparable. The top 1% due to Trump's tax cuts saved over $60,000, while people making under $53,000 a year only saved $390. Hell, people making under $150,000 only saved $1,600 in comparison to $60,000 for the top 1%. And the trickle-down boost in wages that Trump was always boasting about never happened as well, with all research showing anyone making less than $114,000 a year, six figures, saw no change in earnings, let alone the bottom 20%, let alone the middle class, the people he said were going to see the most benefits from this. On top of that, lesser known parts of the bill, lesser known cuts that were included in this include a 14% corporate tax drop, and exempting multinational corporations from taxes. This effectively allows corporations to move overseas where they will get much cheaper labor, losing American jobs, might I add, and then not be taxed on the income and profits that they make at a rate that would incentivize them to just stay in America. Some were not even taxed at all. He also dropped the AMT, which applies to wealthier households who can use deductions and write-offs as sort of a workaround to escape paying any taxes. It gives them an automatic minimum tax that they still have to pay. He made this apply to drastically less households, and that those it does apply to have to pay far less, while also doubling the amount qualifying for the estate tax, allowing even more massive amounts of wealth to be passed on tax-free from generation to generation, and thus hoarded at the top 1%. The problem with this being that tax cuts cut our revenue, thus cut money that is available for public spending and social services, at least if you don't want to deficit spend or add to our debt. Tax cuts have to be met with these spending cuts to avoid that. This means less quality roads, less money for education, cutting from Social Security and Medicare, food stamps, welfare services. Now you can see why Republicans lean so heavy on cutting spending in these regards. It's necessary to reach their goals for their rich donors and corporations. And these are the things, these public services are the things that the middle class relies on more. The working class is more likely to need quality public education for their kids, quality roads to travel on, clean water and transportation. They're more likely to need these things than they are an extra $300. That extra income isn't going to be enough to get them into private schools, on private roads, or to the access to the things that the top 1% has that makes them indifferent to this public spending.
Did you do larger cuts, corporate cuts?
Yeah, I was planning on doing it. In fact,
You are all people that have a lot of money. I know 20 of you, and you're rich as hell. We're going to give you tax cuts. We're going to pay off our debt.
So as you can see, he's also mask off about his plans. Give more to billionaires, more corporate tax cuts that never trickle down, and pay off our debts. As I expressed, the only way to do both at the same time is to cut public spending. So he's here to benefit the billionaires at the behest of the working class. This is where Trump will have to go on and again try to cut Social Security like he tried to do in his first term. Look at him trying to cut the payroll tax or Medicare, or go after public education. Who knows what he'll go after that the working class depends on, relies on, just so he can then go and give even more to the guys who are already not paying their fair share. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.